Hey, folks. So, response to an email that I got. I got this email about 3 weeks ago. Residency swap question is the title of the email. This is a lady. She says to me, "Hi, Khaled. I don't even get a doctor." And she says, "My name is, I'm a resident at a program somewhere far. And I just had a kid. I don't have family support where I am. It's in the middle of nowhere. And my husband lives in a different state and can work remote, but actually, I guess he can't work remote. So he can't work remote, and he needs, for us to be together, we need to live in a place where he can also work. So I need to basically move to a big city and leave the middle of nowhere so that, I would have some family support because this lady's in residency, single parent by herself, all right? And she's in a primary care specialty. So it's obviously a huge challenge, right? She's working 80 hours a week, and it's even such a it's unfortunately it's so it's heartbreaking because there's times when she's away from her child and she's not doing anything. She just has to be in the hospital, right? So I think that kind of course, I'm just assuming I would feel very unfulfilled during those 2 3 hours where you're doing nothing and you're still away from your family. So congratulations on being a mom. I wish I was a dad maybe someday. So at the end, she says, any leads that you have would be greatly appreciated. Thanks. So let me tell you guys a little bit about what I do right now. So right now I'm living my best life. Like I'm in residency. I'm in Miami. I'm in Miami Beach. I live in South Beach. I love life. Life is good. Got a great job. I go snorkeling on the weekends. I meet friends. I'm happy. I'm happy where I am. I'm not trying to transfer, right? I have such a a great a great situation, a great residency. I mean, they teach us, they take care of us, they treat us well. We get a protected lunchtime. I go for a walk outside the hospital. I see a manatee. I see a dolphin. I'm getting sun. And I'm in radiology. Like, I mean, life can't be, life can't be better. Of course, I can always complain, by being ungrateful. We even have a running joke, like amongst the residents, like Miami Beach, like best place to have to do residency. Is there a better place in the world? Like, come on, maybe San Diego. But anyways, so the message I'm trying to tell you is, I have no idea what spots are open, where they're open. I have no idea. Okay. What I can do though is I can tell you how I found an open spot when I was in that position of loneliness, desperation, uncertainty. Okay. And it's a miracle that when you're at your lowest is really kind of when you act your strongest. So I hope, dear new mom, I hope you get all the strength and family support that you ever wanted. The first step is rallying support. What does rallying support mean? Rallying support means you contact all of your letter writers and you tell them, hey guys, hey gals, hey doctor this, hey professor this is my situation right now and I'm trying to change it to this thing. What did I do? Dear doctor, I applied ortho, I didn't match. I ended up soaping in internal medicine. I found out the program that I'm at's not going to be able to help me to reach my goals. I'm looking to transfer the surgery. Is there anything you can do to help me? Are you able to write me a new letter? Okay? You just have to be candid. You got to wear your heart on your sleeve, all right, in this situation. Next, when I say rally support, is get your stuff together. One single PDF, your picture, your step one, step two, step three score, whatever, everything that you've taken, everything that you've done your whole life, your whole ERAS application, one document, one PDF, single thing, okay? It's an attachment, quickly. You're able to forward it, email it. It has your transcript, your grades. It's got all the stuff. Okay? And now you have to identify programs. How do I identify programs? I identify programs first by knowing what's in my own heart. What does that mean? I didn't mention where this person lives, but let's say they live in the middle of nowhere and they live in North Dakota and their family is in California. Moving to South Dakota is not going to help, right? So there's no point in even looking at programs in South Dakota. All right? But let's say that her family is in San Diego and she's going to say, you know what, I could live in LA, I could live in San Diego, maybe even the Bay Area. And that's the max. A 6-hour drive from San Diego is the max I can do. So now it behooves you to start emailing every single program in Southern California, right, and the Bay Area with this information that you just compiled and say to them, this is my situation. I'm looking to transfer because I want to be closer to my family. I'm still dedicated to medicine, but I'm not able to do it on my own so far away. I can start at this date. I have the support of my program director. Do you have any open spots? You're going to email them and you're going to call them. What does that mean? You go on the website, you see that either you go on the ERAS where they had like kind of an organization of all the numbers, or you just go on their website individually and you call the coordinators and say and talk to them. And I've done that. I probably talked to like half the coordinators in the country for ortho and radiology. Honestly, some of their numbers I had saved in my phone. All right, because I followed up with them even, and I still didn't get any of those spots, but. So basically, what am I saying to you is that the number one way, the most efficient way for you to find an open spot is for you to scout that program that you actually want to go to and see if they have an open spot. There is no, even though you might think, or websites might advertise that they have a directory or, whatever of open spots. The Residency Swap website, this, that. It's not accurate. It's out of date. It's not direct communication with the actual program. It's a third party. The best way, and even the Residency Swap website talks about it, is for you to cold email the programs that you're interested to see if they have an open spot. And that is how I found my open spot. I found 2 open spots. I applied to one. I got it. Okay. Now that's the core of it. That's the core of it. Now there's some supplemental things that you can do. And it obviously depends on how much time you have. In my case, luckily I had a lot of time because in internal medicine, what I was in, there's obviously a lot of downtime, right? So I was in front of the computer and I was emailing and messaging and I was texting every single person I knew. One thing that I did was I went on PubMed, and every program that I was interested in, I looked up the program director, I looked up the doctors, the surgeons who worked there, and I saw their publications. And in their publications, I saw their name and the name of the co-authors. And I was like, who are these co-authors? Do I know any of these co-authors? Right? They say like everyone's connected like by 7 differences or something, or if you know one person, there's like 7 ways that you know the other person, some weird thing like that. So I botched that, but it doesn't matter. We're still going to move on. Here's the kicker. The program director at the program that I wanted to go to had published an article with a bariatric surgeon who I worked with in med school, who, because it's always worth it to try your best. That's what I did when I worked with this guy, even though I had 0 interest in bariatric surgery. And I had 0 interest in general surgery as well, right? But I faked it for a whole year so I can secure a job in Miami Beach, okay? So it's always worth it to try your best and continue trying your best at the program that you're at until you leave. But that's my advice. You can reach out to me. I'm happy to talk. And I wish you the best of luck.